Hello, in this video we will discuss about the cardiogenic pulmonary edema. So what is the cardiogenic? Cardiogenic means the heart problem will lead to cause the edema in lung. So that is why it is pulmonary edema. So the sign and symptom first of all we will discuss. So first of all is the awakening at night with cough, breathless, feeling that maybe a relief by sitting up. A new or worsening cough can be created also. So in this way the cough is the basic due to the increase of the fluid in the air sac of the lungs in the alveoli means the increase of the fluid will lead to eject from your lungs through coughing due to the contraction of the lungs due to the sympathetic nervous system. So, difficult breathing with activity, more shortness of breathing, not being able to exercise also. On the other hand, the chest pain, low fever, fatigue, and more shortness of breathing, a rapid weight gain, swelling in the legs and feet, and wheezing, which that is all is the sign and symptom of the long term chronic edema, which that will lead to cause a different complication. Let's begin to understand. So in this way, the first of all I want to share the structure of heart, and this is I am drawing the structure of heart, which that's contained here is the pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. So these two red color is showing that pulmonary vein, while the blue color is showing that is the pulmonary artery. So remember that the right here is the right atrium and right pulmonary vein and right ventricle. Right ventricle involved for the pulmonary edema due to the some reason. So the blood will not pump completely into the lungs, will lead to fluid retention in the lungs due to the stenosis in the wall of the atrioventricular or pulmonary wall. So this is the right pulmonary vein and the right ventricle and inferior vena cava. While here is the left pulmonary vein and here is the stenosis, a narrow valve can be occur. And on the other hand, the cardiomyopathy, which that increase and hardness of the ventricle, right ventricle, will lead to incomplete constriction of the heart, mean the systolic blood pressure will decrease, mean the pulmonary circulation will decrease, and that means the heart will be not completely circulate, and that is why the fluid will not completely circulate. So the fluid increase in the pulmonary circulation will lead to enter, and hypertension also increase will lead to cause fluid loss and in the kidney, which that involve for the damaging. So anyhow, here is I am drawing the structure of the person, which does contain a lung and heart. This is the blood clot in lungs also involved, and this is the toxin can also will lead to cause pneumonia. And on the other hand, here is the brain. So remember, the basically is the sympathetic nervous system more activation due to the cardiac problem, or cardiac input will be increased, output will be increased. Sorry. So when cardiac output will increase and input will be decreased, mean the higher cardiac rate due to the coronary artery disease. And in this way, the right coronary artery involved for the arteriosclerosis, and arteriosclerosis will not complete the oxygenation to the heart. It means the right atrium and ventricle not completely push the or eject the blood into the pulmonary circulation, and that means that is the problem which that will lead to cause the edema. Why? Because the fluid will not completely circulate into the pulmonary circulation. So in this way, the fluid can be entered into the due to the increase of the due to the constriction of the pulmonary circulation of the blood vessel, due to constriction for increasing the blood pressure, due to the decrease of the blood pressure due to the heart problem, and that will lead to automatically sympathetic nervous system will lead to increase the blood pressure, will lead to ejection, or fluid will enter into the air sac. So there is less blood flow to less oxygen transport, and in this way the increase the carbon dioxide and will lead to cause angina and the baroreceptor and chemoreceptor, which that are present in the and stretching of the wall of the heart, and that will lead to give the positive feedback to increase the sympathetic nervous system, more activation, and in this way the more blood flow, more blood pressure will increase, and in this way the more blood pressure means that a trachea artery. Here you can see I am drawing the bigger picture of the lung. So the vein which that is the increase the blood pressure, when increase the blood pressure for the more oxygen consumption and release the carbon dioxide through a chemoreceptor detection, but it is unable because the fluid retention will lead to not complete exhalation and inhalation. That is why the breathing problem and angina, which that if the coronary artery disease. So in this way here is a fluid, and it is also this fluid retention will lead to pneumonia threat more increase, and this is the fluid contain the bacteria if when we will inhale the oxygen. So that is why. Anyhow, let's begin to understand the risk factor of the cardiogenic pulmonary edema. So this is the cardiogenic edema. So that is the important thing you should need to understand the complication of heart which that will lead to cause edema. So the heart failure and other heart condition that raise pressure in the heart increase the risk of pulmonary edema. Risk factor for heart failure, which that is the alcohol uses, and that is the indirect cause the pulmonary edema, congenital heart disease, coronary artery disease, diabetes, heart valve disease, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. Let's discuss about the prevention. So prevention is very important, and we can prevent before this problem arise. So that don't smoke, get regular exercise, limit salt and alcohol, and manage stress and manage weight. So increase or decrease. So balance the weight, balance the diet, and limit salt and alcohol. So that's all thing, and increase the blood pressure will lead to cause also the edema. So that is the right side of the heart when dysfunction, cardiomyopathy, hypertrophy, which that will lead to cause edema. Thanks for watching. Bye.